Okay, good day everyone. Today we will talk about the corruption in the government. So first, let's move on to the background of the study of our concept paper.
Background of the study. Corruption has recently become a major issue in the Philippines. However, behind the screens, it has always been there, referred to as the C word. The major concern for international aid policy through the last 5 decades is to improve the living conditions for the poor in the poorest country in the world. Corruption is a problem that mainly arises in the interaction between government and the market economy, where the government itself must be considered indigenous and corruption deals with action performed by agents in specific. We have aimed this balance assorted, and we have consider an interesting selection of topics. This administration analysis is that the institution for fighting corruption already exists, but just need to be put to work properly. The purpose of this report, first, it aims to review the essential elements of the various approaches that have been used to analyze the causes and effect of corruption. Thus, the study or organized as literature review, extracting and evaluating the core elements of corruption research in economics, political science, and sociological anthropology. Second, it aims to explore how research has been applied in developing countries. That's all. Next person, please.
2. Corruption is becoming a big problem today in our society. Corruption community spyware known of human society since the dawn of history, which is an incurable disease afford all the countries and communities, whether they are rich or poor, educated or ignorant, dictatorship or democracy, strong or weak, and is thus associated with its appearance and the continuation of the desire of human to get a physical or moral gains, for through in deep side he has no right to it. However, trying it, so he restored to covert means to reach them, including the removal of his right in or obtained through bribery or favoritism or nepotism or embezzlement of public money and others. Corruption defined causes, effects, and means of obtaining it. 2003, Judge Dr. Rahim Hassan Ugaili. So here are the questions that we like to solve in this research. Why does corruption occur? When does corruption occur? What are the effects of corruption? Does increasing the salary of government officials help reduce corruption? How can we work together in stopping corruption? Next person, please.
Statement of the problem or objectives. This paper aims to give information about how corruption affects our country. Among the most common causes of corruption are the political and economic environment, professional ethics and morality, and of course, the habits, customs, tradition, and demography. So, effects of the corruption on the economy are well researched, yet still not completely. But we have aimed at a balanced, assorted, and what we considered an interesting selection of topics. The report is organized as follows. Why does corruption occur? Does increasing the salary of the government official help reduce corruption? Furthermore, this chapter explores research on the deep structures of corruption, including neo-patrimonialism and the criminalization of the state, as well as issue of the social order and trust. So, the Philippines suffers from widespread corruption, means the corruption include graft, bribery, embezzlement, backdoor deals, nepotism, and patronage. So the researcher enhanced their energy to give information of how corruption is dangerous to our lives. And let's move on to the next.
Methodology. One of the most common and most discussed methods to measure corruption and reputation research The common basis in that respondents are asked to estimate the amount of corruption environment. In their environment, their organization, their sector of society of their country. Forms of corruption vary but can include bribery, extortion, cronyism, nepotism, parochialism, money laundering, human trafficking. Though it's not that restricted to these activities and other misuse of government power, other purposes, such as repression of political opponents and general police brutality, is also considered political corruption. Corruption is a dishonest behavior by those in positions of power, such as manager or government officials. Corruption can include giving or accepting bribes or inappropriate gifts, globally dealing under the table transactions, manipulating elections, diverting funds, laundering money, and defrauding investors. Some forms of corruption are now called institutional corruption, distinguished from bribery and other kinds of personal gain. Similar problem of corruption arises in institutions of defense, financial support from people who have interests that may conflict the primary purpose of the institution. An illegal act by an office holder constitutes political corruption only if the act is directly related to their official duties than other law or involved with trading and influence. The activities that constitute illegal corruption differ depending on the country or jurisdiction. For instance, some political funding practices that are legal in one state may be illegal in another. In some cases, government officials have broad or ill-defined powers which make it difficult to distinguish between legal and illegal action. Worldwide, bribery is estimated to involve over $1 trillion annually. A state of unrestrained political corruption is known as kleptocracy, literally meaning rules by the thieves.
So this is our references. So thank you for watching our video. I hope you learned something about the corruption in the government, and have a good day everyone.